Okay, I'm going to share a couple stories that are kind of embarrassing from my life. Well, now that I think about it, almost all of the stories that I've been sharing are pretty embarrassing. I feel like I have made so many mistakes and so many failures in business. But honestly, I feel like that's what's gotten me where I am right now. It's allowed me to have the time freedom that I want, be where I want to be, do what I want to do when I want to do it, have the conversations with the people that I know and I trust when I want to have those conversations, and not have to worry about the money part of it or the time trap of it. And I think that's an important thing to realize, is that failures can really, really, really pull you down, or you can understand that they are a normal part of life, accept them, talk through them with someone, learn from them, and then grow from it. It sounds so simple, but I just feel like maybe this is a good time to give that reminder, because chances are you're going through a lot of failures in your life, in your business. Hopefully you're having tons of success as well, but don't let those failures pull you down. All right. So that said, the first story that comes to mind, and I'm going to bring my brother Daniel into this because he was the one that really helped me establish good SOPs for this part of the business. What company is it? You guessed it. It's pest control again. I I am not the most organized person when it comes to daily tasks, to be honest. I am definitely a very, very strong strategic overview, project oriented individual. But if you tell me I need to do something every single day forever, my first thought is, okay, I'm going to document that and hand that off to someone else to do, which sounds horrible, but that is who I am. That is my personality, because I like focusing on the higher level projects. That said, in my business, I already mentioned that I had gotten my business to the point where I had a goal. I knew what my gross margin was for services. I had conversations with my technicians and made it very clear what they needed to achieve at the end of every day. They needed to hit $150 in revenue per hour clocked. But that's kind of where things ended. I didn't really have super smooth processes beyond that. In other words, I didn't have a step-by-step guide on what needed to be done every single day and how it needed to be done in order to achieve that. I was basically going out with these technicians, looking at the numbers and seeing if they just hit the goal of revenue collected per hour clocked, and seeing if I was meeting my gross margins. My brother, Daniel, he was working in a whole different city, and he was looking to move up into the same city that I was living in and pursue an entirely different career path. And somehow, I don't know how it happened, but I convinced him to work part-time in my company. And he came in and like literally almost quit as soon as he started. He called me, he's like, Tyler, what the heck? This company is really, really disorganized. Like everything is so different and no one knows what the heck is going on. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm totally organized. These people are hitting their goals and we're hitting our gross margin. He's like, Tyler, look, like this this person's vehicle has trash all throughout, water bottles on the passenger side that literally you open the passenger side door and they just all fall out. Imagine how embarrassing that is going to a customer. And every day when I see this guy, he's wearing something different. Sometimes he's wearing a uniform, sometimes he's wearing a jacket, sometimes he's wearing an unbranded hat, sometimes he's wearing jeans. Like it's super wrinkly. This guy, I can't tell if he shaved or not. And when I open up the back of the vehicle, it just stinks super, super bad. I don't know if the product is even good anymore. And it was a moment where big brother complex was like so tempting to just get super defensive. But deep down, I knew that he was absolutely right. I wasn't taking control of the business and the how-tos seriously at all at this point in the business. And in fact, the business had gotten to the point where I was focusing on other things already, that it was just totally passive, and I let it just run itself down to that point. And so I took a step back and I said, Daniel, like, you're exactly right. I know you're brand new, but I know your strengths. My brother's not OCD, but he has this OCD type superpower where he can see organizational issues and get obsessed about it until they're organized. And so I just let him go loose. I said, Daniel, just you tell me what you think needs to be done, and I'm just going to give you full authority to go in and do it. He's like, okay, sweet. Now, how do I do that? You need to tell me what to do, and I will be your perfect soldier and I'll do it. And so I sat down and wrote out in the exact way that I'm going to have you write out the exact steps of what need to happen. I wrote out, okay, a technician, or if it was me, they need to wear this uniform. They need to knock on a door. They need to, before they do the service, this is what they say to the customer. This is what they text to a customer. This is the exact product that they mix. This is when they mix it. This is how they clean their vehicle. This is when they clean their vehicle. This is how they audit their vehicle. This is how you spray a house. This is how high up you spray on a house. This is how far out. This is how you do the inside of the house. I went through and I literally, everything that entered my mind on how to, on this one step for one service, I documented it. When you're done with the service, where do I put this brush? I put it exactly here in this exact spot. I don't just throw it in my truck. I did that through the entire thing, and I gave it to my brother and I said, Daniel, can you do anything with this? He said, this is exactly what I needed. Heck yeah. Come to me in a week and your company will look totally different. And I did. I remember going a week later and checking out the vehicle, and it was just immaculate. And here's the crazy thing. A month later, I went and I checked out that vehicle, and it was immaculate because I had finally documented exactly what needed to be done and how exactly it needed to be done. And the calls from our customers started becoming a lot more positive. I started getting feedback like, I love these technicians. They are super consistent. The messages are always the same. I have no confusion on what service I'm going to get this time where I was in the past. These guys seem super, super effective. It seems like you're extremely dialed in. It's very, very efficient. I feel like these guys aren't just coming to my house and doing a 2-minute service, but they're also not chatting all day with me and like just sitting in the car scratching their head. Like, I can tell they're busy and they're super focused and they know what they're doing. They're efficient when they're here. And honestly, Tyler, like, the brand of Bamboo is a lot more positive. I can tell you've made some changes to your business. And I was like, this is great. You know, how did this all happen? And it really came down to following these steps all the way down to having an extremely granular SOP for the service fulfillment. And what we need to do now is we need to do this for all of your business. So hopefully that story was helpful. I was going to share, actually, I'll do it real quick. I'll share a quick story right now. I'm in the process of trying to hire a personal assistant, but I realized I don't have an SOP for it. And I realized it would be really, really foolish of me to go out and hire someone and then have them come in and then have them say, okay, what do you want me to do? And I say, well, I don't know. I just know this is the goal I want you to achieve. And go ahead and figure it out. It is very, very rare that you can find someone that feels super comfortable taking on that challenge. They're out there, but what's better is if I can clearly define the goal that needs to be achieved and the step-by-step tasks that need to be done every single day in order to achieve the daily fulfillment goal that will lead to the KPI that I'm looking for in the organization side of my business. And as you go out and you hire more people, in your job description, it's going to be very, very effective if you include your SOP in the job description, just outlining what needs to be done on a daily basis and how you expect them to do that. Because then you can literally hand it to someone and hold them accountable if you hire them and they don't do it correctly. It's going to lead to a lot better culture. This SOP portion is probably the most culture-driven step that you can possibly do. What you have in your SOP, if someone does it correctly, it it really promotes your culture. So hopefully those stories help. Now let's dive into what you need to do in order to establish SOPs for your business.